Brothers and sisters, I need your attention. As I speak and the spiritual essence of the Most High vibrates through my soul, I know that we see the oppression and that we have defined our opposition and given it a color. Brother, you may call it the man. Sister, you may call it the system. Whatever it is, we all agree it's white. But be clear, when we make the opposition anything outside of ourselves, we begin to miss me, the spirit. I am is you, and I lives in every vessel walking this earth as the word in action. Peace, family. Welcome back to another episode of the Poetry Corner here on L.E.A.D TV, where poets come and delve into a deep conversation about themselves and their poetry. Today's show will feature a poet that contains a wealth of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Here is a video of this episode's poet. Let's check it out.
Arthur, you all right? You all right?
Yeah. Just having a dream about this generation.
Okay. All right. Okay.
There has been much talk about this present generation, of how they are given to all kinds of lustful temptations. Young women walking around scantily clad, revealing their bodies, and we call it just a fad. Wearing tight clothes fitted to their skin. What kind of messages do they really send? Young men walking around with their pants on the ground, showing their underwear, and all we do is look and frown. Tattooed back from head to toe, walking around looking like a moving picture show. Skulls and crossbones in vogue today. Movies about vampires stalking their prey. Blood and guts and fear and fright. We don't have to wait till Halloween night. Programming on TV today about women who were wives. Desperate basketball, Atlanta, New Jersey housewives, doing and saying things that cut like a knife. What kind of examples are these for our young people in this life? Showing off with their lavish and material things, the ritz and the glamour and the bling bling. But those things are not worth their weight in gold if the story truly be told. When there's no one to love and no one to behold, it's a heavy price to pay for the selling of your soul. Sexual content is everywhere we look. It used to be in the dark, in the alley, or in the Playboy book. All forms of media using sex to make a sale. From TV, magazines, the internet, to ads in the mail. But we just sit by viewing with a lustful eye, not concerned when we have to say goodbye and give an account of why we bought into his sinful lie. Profane language is the order of the day. Young kids use them jokingly and in play, while others use them in normal conversation, each and every day. People really don't care what they do, or even what they say. But the truth be told, this generation is only following our lead, for we were the ones who planted the seeds, and now they have sprouted and grown into selfishness, distrust, and greed. So we must be slow to criticize and careful of what we say. For the youth of today are having to pay for the things we allowed to take place yesterday. We had better take heed and turn things around and put our faith and trust in God, which is our solid ground. We must submit and commit our lives to Christ if we truly want to change this nation's course and give our children a spirit-filled, meaningful life. The choice is ours to choose. For we can choose death or life. For the wages of sin is death. Choose life. Choose life. Choose life. Choose life.
Hey, Jackie, listen to this.
Arthur, go back to sleep. You might have to go to the state.
Now that was an interesting video, creative and different than what we have shown in this show this season. The poem comes from the perspective of one of our elders, looking into the youth's experience and speaking on that which should change. Family, I introduce you all to a published poet who has a book entitled Spirit Speaks to Spirit, a wise elder, Arthur Beavers. How you doing?
All right, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain at all. I'm thankful that you're here with us today. Want to get some wisdom from you, and we're just going to delve into a conversation about what was just seen on camera, a poem titled This Generation. Why did you title the poem This Generation?
Well, I titled it This Generation because over the years I've heard so many of my elders, parents and grandparents talk about the youth. And they would always say, oh man, I'm so frustrated. This generation just gets on my nerves. And so I started thinking about that as I was writing this poem. And I said, that's interesting. I think I'll title this poem, This Generation. And so I started putting the words together in order to create it. And that's how I actually started, by thinking about those in the past and how they used to talk about the youth.
Okay, so how did the concept of the video come about?
Well, I had been waking up early in the mornings with a lot of words flowing through my mind, and I would get up early in the morning and start writing. And with this particular poem, I wanted to highlight exactly how I would go about writing and getting a finished product. So early in the mornings I would wake up and the words would start flowing. And so that's how I started off this video, with just This Generation. And as I went through the video, then I put instances were put in there concerning the content and sharing it with my wife, because that's what I used to do. When I wake up in the morning, I'd have a finished product. And I would say, hey, Jackie, check this out. And so I thought about that whole concept of from beginning, when I would wake up in the morning, and then when I would write, and then at the end of my writing, I would share it with her. So I wanted to use it in that kind of context.
So basically having a realistic concept to it from start to finish. So you had some acting in there. So you see any more acting in your future? Any other videos coming?
Well, I hope so. I'm continuing to write even to this day, and so who knows what the future holds. I look forward to doing anything that's gonna highlight experiences, life experiences, and hopefully it will continue.
Wonderful. So we're just beginning our discussion here with Arthur Beavers. We just seen This Generation. It was a wonderful video. What we're going to do now is take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back after these messages. Remember, you are tuned in to the Poetry Corner on L.E.A.D TV. Welcome back, family. You're tuned in to the Poetry Corner on L.E.A.D TV. I'm here with the poet, Arthur Beavers, and we just went into a discussion of the concept behind the This Generation video that aired earlier. What we're going to do now is go into a brief discussion about his background. When did you start writing poetry?
Well, I never really had an affinity to write poetry. I enjoyed reading poetry, but never to write. But the latter part of 2010, I used to read the Bible continuously. In fact, I had read the whole Bible within a year. And I would go to sleep at night, and then words would just start coming through me, flowing through my mind. And so I would wake up and just get a pen and then just started putting it on paper. And throughout the night, after about a couple of hours or so, I would almost have a finished product. And I said, boy, this rhymes. And so it was nothing in and of myself that, that I just wanted to do. It just came to me. And I guess it was just, God working through me at that time.
Right. So would you say that basically the Spirit or God is your inspiration and the reason why you're moved to write?
Oh, certainly, without a doubt. Because otherwise, I couldn't do it in and of myself. So yes, it is the motivation.
So now, as you have been writing your poetry since 2010, have any of your life experiences and your experiences with your family or spirituality crept inside of the poetry that you write?
It has. It's had an impact on my life, certainly, and those that I've been around. They really like hearing, what the finished product once I finish it, and I've shared it with other people. I've even gone to some churches and shared it with them. So yes, it's changed my life dramatically.
So now you started writing poetry in 2010, and from there you actually started to create a book entitled Spirit Speaks to Spirit. So how did this book come about?
Well, really, my wife was the motivator behind that. I had accumulated approximately 50 to 60 poems. And she said, you need to do something with it. Why not put it in a book? And reluctantly, I was saying, I don't know about that. But as I prayed on it and thought about it, I said, well, it would be something that I could share with others. And so, behind that, that motivated me to take the necessary steps to try to get it published and in book form.
Family, make sure that you all purchase this poetry book and the music that goes along with it. You can email Arthur Beavers. The email is on the screen. And then make sure that you stay tuned to the Poetry Corner here on L.E.A.D TV. Upon our return, you will be able to see a poem from Arthur Beavers entitled Freedom Ain't Free. Welcome to Name This Poet. The book of poems published in 1969 entitled Homecoming was written by which of the following poets? A. Sonia Sanchez, B. Lucille Clifton, or C. Toni Morrison? The answer is A. Sonia Sanchez. Sonia Sanchez was very influential in the civil rights movement and the black arts movement. In the early 1960s, Sanchez became a member of CORE, which stands for Congress for Racial Equality, where she met Malcolm X. Stay tuned for more of Name This Poet.
History, in my opinion, is not something that should be relegated to review during a specific time frame, as is the case of Black History Month. Our history is forever present as each day passes. Our future is reflective of the past, and when it is looked at throughout each moment in time, will shape our thoughts and lives as we transcend space and time as we know it. There's so much to learn and to know about those who came before us. Black history, African history, did not start in America, but African American history started when the first Africans arrived here on this continent. 1 week or 1 month a year is not in and of itself, nor should it be,
the only time of reflection of our history. The reflection of our history should be continuous. Every day, we should take time to reflect upon those who have paved the way and made it possible for us to stand here today. Our freedom as African Americans in the United States of America was bought for a price. 400 plus years of blood, sweat, and tears. But emancipation from slavery has not made us free. Freedom ain't free. Freedom ain't free. This should be obvious to you and me. For after more than 150 years, they still won't let us be. Though our bodies are free from the shackles and the chains, the remnants and the impact still remains. Free from the whip, free from the torture, and free from the pain, we're still not free. They've just changed the game. Slavery still exists. They just gave it another name. Freedom ain't free. This should be obvious to you and me. For in this present society, we can never truly be. For this new world order produces economic slavery. There is a spiritual law and an economic rule that says those that have shall get, those that have not shall lose. This is a fact, and I know it sounds cruel. Freedom ain't free. It should be obvious to you and me. But we are walking in darkness and cannot really see, blinded by the materialism and all the trinkets that we see, thinking that earthly possessions will make and set us free. Oh, my brothers, this will never, ever be. We must stop living this lie and see what's behind the veil. Stop worshiping the golden calf, for it will only lead and condemn your soul to hell. We must re-educate our youth and teach them how to be independent, creative entrepreneurs and to do for themselves. We must stop being the consumers and the debtors to everybody else. Those that borrow are slaves to the lender. So don't be so quick to give up and surrender. Now is the time for us to rise up and to take a stand, to create and to build with our own hands, to develop communities and businesses and to own our own land. These are some of the qualities and attributes of a real man. Freedom ain't free. This should be obvious to you and me. But we can change this world and society. There's no need to look or wait for a sign. Change must first take place by the renewing of our minds. For in the image and likeness of our Creator God, we too are divine. So seek those things from above that are eternal and that will make you free and give you true life. For our salvation is in and through Christ, who is the way, the truth, and the life.
That was a poem written and performed by Arthur Beavers entitled Freedom Ain't Free. This is going to be an interesting discussion, and I know it's going to be empowering and filled with some jewels of light. Now, where I want to start is pertaining to history. So why is it important for our people to understand history, study our history, and know our history year round and not on a 1 week or 1 month basis?
Well, as I said in the poem, our history, our present day is based upon our history, our past. And to go back and to look at those that came before us, what they meant to us, what they've done, throughout time and being the reason why we're here is really important. And to just look at it or review or relegate our history to a small time frame, 1 week or 1 month, I feel is not sufficient, and it doesn't encapsulate, the many years, thousands of years that we as a people have been on this planet. And so history is so important because in order for us to be here, someone had to come before us, and it certainly impacts the future. And what we do today will impact our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren.
Right.
So history is really important. We need to know from whence we came.
Right. So we have in the poem, freedom ain't free. So why should this be obvious to you and me?
Well, just by living and seeing what is occurring at this time right now, and a lot of the bias and racism and the way that people of color are being treated, to me it should be obvious that things, even though they say some things have changed, they still remain the same. It's changed to some degree, but not as it should be. And so there are some areas that need to be worked on, and we as a people need to do our best to try to make it even better. So yes, it's a lot that we can still do.
Okay. So this is a reoccurring question on this show pertaining to slavery. So how and can slavery still exist today?
Well, there's different forms of slavery, yes. It's no longer, as I stated in the poem, it's no longer that we're in chains and shackles. But your mind can be shackled and be in chains. And economically, we are deprived simply because of the color of our skin. And some things need to be done as it relates to that. So yes, we are still enslaved, but not in the sense as we once knew it or our ancestors once knew it, back during the 15th, 16th, and 17th century.
So much wisdom, so much understanding. Family, we'll be right back after these messages.
I'm human. I'm a creator. I'm a mother. I'm beautiful. I could be you, but I have epilepsy. Do you look at me different now? Epilepsy lives matter.
Of Journey Family Chiropractic. Here at our office, we use a whole self approach to your care. What that means is we use chiropractic care, nutrition, and exercise. With this, it creates a healthy body, spirit, and mind. Here at Journey Family Chiropractic, our goal is to help you accomplish a quality state of health. At Journey Family Chiropractic, I see a range of different people, but I specialize in the care of women and children. As a woman and a mom, I know the problems women endure, from pregnancy to difficulty losing weight. With chiropractic care, we allow the body to heal itself with what is called adjustments. Journey Family Chiropractic can help you reach your full potential, so book your appointment today. You can get 50% off your first visit. Call 678-333-7919 or visit our website at www.journeyfamilychiro.com.
Today we have received wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from our esteemed elder, Arthur Beavers. Before we close, I would like to know one thing. What should people take away from your poem, Freedom Ain't Free?
The main thing I think that people need to take from this poem is that we're going to have to prepare ourselves and do things for ourselves. We should not just sit idly by and think that somebody should give us something. We need to prepare ourselves, grow spiritually, mentally, financially, economically, and in order to do that, we have to prepare ourselves educationally and to learn how to do things for ourselves. Then we truly will be independent. We truly will have freedom as it relates to this United States of America by doing for ourselves and not be so dependent upon others. I think that's the crux of being free, is that we just prepare ourselves to be able to do for ourselves and not be dependent upon others.
Okay, so with that being said, can you tell the people where you can be reached for booking?
Yes, I can be reached at iiiadb@yahoo.com.
Arthur, we here at L.E.A.D Media LLC, L.E.A.D TV, and the Poetry Corner, thank you for speaking with us. We look forward to seeing your progress in the future as it pertains to your poetic journey.
Thank you.
Family, we hope that you have enjoyed episode 6 of the Poetry Corner. We have something special up for you all next. Next week, we will air the season finale of the Poetry Corner in front of a live audience. All 6 poets from season 1 will perform a new poem and engage in a Q&A session with the audience. This is one that you don't want to miss. So tell a friend and tell that friend and tell a friend as well about the Poetry Corner and to subscribe to L.E.A.D TV on YouTube. I am j.cole. Follow me on Instagram at JAABEY_3rd and follow L.E.A.D Media LLC at L.E.A.D Media Company. We will see you all next week as we air the Poetry Corner season finale, featuring all 6 poets from season 1. This one will be for the record books. Family, we leave you all in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Peace, family.